Howdy! In the Classics range, there are two versions of Optimus Prime. You have the Voyager figure, and then there's this, the deluxe-sized Ultimate Battle version. It comes in a 2-pack with Megatron and in robot mode, so I'll start with that. Aside from several differences in paint and mold detailing, including that on the waist and knees, this is very cartoon accurate, especially with the proportions and colour scheme. The head I'm not terribly fond of though. The optics are too big, making him look bug-eyed. The hands are also a flaw on an aesthetic level, as the holes are larger compared to other TF hands, and the layer of plastic around them is very thin. They just give the toy a bit of a knock-off feel to it. They hold the weapon reasonably well though. While not to the extent of Classics Mirage, he has great articulation. He can move at a lot of points except for the waist. And due to his lack of major kibble, balancing isn't an issue, and you can get him in lots of cool poses. Prime has a gimmick in this mode. When you push the button on his back here, this causes his torso to swing around, like so. And if you pose the arms with the gun in his hand, it's like he's ramming someone with his own weapon. When you've finished, you get his torso into place and then you pull the button out and it locks into place. Admittedly, this gimmick is weird for a Prime figure, but it works okay at least. The clicking sounds may put some off though, since it does sound like the toy is broken. The transformation of the upper body is actually pretty nifty. Pushing the waist forward causes the front wheels to automatically fold out from the lower torso. This in turn allows the arms to stow away once you rotate the rest of the body. The pegs don't actually lock them into place. Instead, they just sort of guide them in. However, all you do for the legs is connect them together and fold the toes in. Pretty lazy if you ask me. Unlike the Voyager version, this one aims for the G1 rectangular styled truck cab. No official trailer has been made for this mode, but a rotating gun platform made from the handheld weapon can be placed on the rear instead. It doesn't stay on very well though, and the top part is stiff when you try to turn it round, and it makes that cringing squeaky noise. But it's still cool looking, and is actually detailed like a real rotating gun platform, which I like. The paint and mold detailing on the truck itself is also decent. There's the grille, the rivets, the headlights. Even through the cab window you can see tiny driver's seats molded inside. The truck rolls along okay on its wheels, but other than that and the rotating gun, there are no real gimmicks to speak of. Unfortunately, there's one big problem with this mode. It's a f***ing mess. For starters, the proportions are really bad. The rear end is much longer than it should be since the legs don't telescope in. Also, the front wheels stick out much further than the rest of the cab if viewed from directly straight on. Lots of robot parts are visible too. There's the upper legs, the arms, and the back of the robot head. Finally, stability is really poor. I've already mentioned the gun not staying on very well, but the legs don't connect together solidly, and if you pick it up by the front, they just flop down. Again, the arms don't lock into place, and look how crappily the upper and lower parts of the cab are linked together. It's just a waste. Overall, if the figure was sold on its own, I'd only get it for the robot mode. It's the only reason this doesn't get a final rating of neutral, or a void. Though I don't have the Voyager version, I'd say you're better off with that due to the comments I've read about it in other reviews. Ultimate Battle Megatron is next for reviewing, but until then, till all are one.